Good, good evening to all. This is a special lecture which is invited for the summer internship project for financial management. That one thing I wanted to tell you that the result of this MBA first semester will be declared within this week. So now you are going in third semester, and in third semester there is one subject, that is summer internship project, which carry 100 marks. The 50 marks will be given by the university and 50 marks will be given by the institute. The student has supposed to go for uh, online training, or you can say that internship in any organizations, manufacturing, service sector, any organizations, and after completion of his report, he has to submit that report to the university by September 2020. So just now we had a very limited span, because this Zoom we cannot conduct lecture more than 45 minutes. So I will clear the aspects immediately. So we'll go through the format, means how the students will go for the internship, where there will be a first chapter that almost I have spoken with all the students and I have already given them subjects. So what the students has to do, students has to refer various books. They have to refer the websites. They have to refer various publications, articles regarding the topic. And in whatever the chapters I will tell you, that chapters they have to mention all these things. So the first chapter is about introduction. In introduction there will be three concepts and concept of the study, the rationale of the study, and sector profile in brief. In concept and context of the study, the student has to give the explanation ki why I am selected this topic. Suppose somebody has selected ratio analysis. Why you are selecting the ratio analysis? That you have to mention. And secondly, in that ratio analysis, you have to mention that how this ratio analysis is beneficial for the organization. So you have to get the data from various books, various websites, and you have to write about the concept, that is concept, ratio analysis, working capital management, whatever may be your topic. Then third point is about rationale of the study. Rationale of the study means it's a significance. Means how this study is going to help me. You have to write in your own word that how this study is going to help you. Then how this study is going to help the organization. And thirdly, how this study is going to help society. Means three significance you have to write. First significance, how it is going to help you, that definitely it is going to enhance your skills and knowledge. Then expertise. Secondly, wherever you are submitting your report, organizations will be benefited by your report. And thirdly, it will be helpful to the society. Means anybody want to know the what is ratio analysis, so if they refer your project in future, they will be benefited. And thirdly, that you have to write about sector profile in brief. That what is sector, I will clear in the next lecture, in the next topic. So the chapter number 2 is about industry profile. In industry profile, you have to, what is industry? First you have to understand industry. Industry is not a company. Company is within industries. Industry, under industry there are so many companies. I have given examples yesterday also. Ki if you talk about the industries, then industry is telecom industry. Industry is manufacturing industry. So you have to mention about the manufacturing industry. Suppose you are doing a project in Tata Motors or Reliance. So you have to write the informations about Reliance or Tata Motors. Tata Motors and Reliance is the industry. Under that industry, you have to write all these things. What you have to write, that industry size. How big is the Tata Motors? How big is the Reliance? How big is your any organization? Then you have to write about the growth trends. Means these organizations, these industries came into existence when, if you take example of Reliance, or you take example of uh, uh, your Tata Motors. Tata Motors, somewhere they have started their plant in after independence only, after 1958. So you have to mention all these things after 1958. Who has Ratan that Jamshedji Tata has propounded things. You have to write the informations about that industry wherever you are doing the project. Then growth trends, how they have gradually enhanced themselves. Means right from the inception, right from the start, what is position there in the market, industry position that you have to mention in the growth trends. Thirdly, that is major players and their market share. Players are competitors. Suppose you are doing a project in coupling manufacturing organizations. So coupling manufacturing organizations, how many industries are there? Coupling manufacturer, or you can take the example of if you are doing project in CF tires. So competitors are Apollo, competitors are Dunlop, competitors are MRF. Means who are other industries engaged in the same kind of the productions, that you have to write major players and their market size shares. That market size will be getting you from you will get it that from Google. And thirdly, government supports and policy. Government supports and policies means any kinds of the government is giving subsidy to them, any kind of the uh, relaxation to them, just like SAGE. SAGE means safe economy zone. Government is giving free water, government is giving free electricity. That policies you have to write. Means what government is doing for the industries to apply in our state, because if industry runs in within our state, what happens, our people, they used to get the employment, right? So definitely we are going to get more knowledge, means more employment. Industries are part of our economical group. So you have to mention that what government is giving. Suppose what government is giving policies, because ultimately you are providing an employments, your youths are getting employment, so government is giving them some facilities to run. Maximization of industries within state will give the employment. Hence government's policies to apply in the particular state, that you have to mention in the industry sector profile. Then thirdly, it is your company profile. Now here, what happens, in company profile, I told you that the industry is different and company is different. Company is what? Company is a place or it's an organization where you are actually doing the project. Akash sir, move the slide. Hello. Company is a particular organization. Now, what is the difference? I told you that industry and company. Under industries, there are so many companies. So Tata Motors, if you talk about Tata Motors, so the various companies that Bhosri plant, Chakan plant, Jamshedpur plant, these are the various plants where the organization is manufacturing a particular a product, and you are doing project in that company, that you have to mention the company where you are doing, right? And brief history of company means company. Suppose Reliance Industries had somewhere started in Reliance Industries or Tata Industries, Escape Industries. They have started their operation so much back, but individual company came into existence afterwards. Reliance Industries started in 2000, but you find that still we are having this outlet in this year also. Suppose you are doing a project where the outlet is just opened, so you have to mention company where you are doing the project. That foundation where means when the company started. Landmark means right from started in 2000. So 2000 to 2020, what are the landmarks? Means how they have come up to this major achievements. What are the various prizes got by them? Then board of directors, their working groups. Board of director means who are running this company, turnover, turnover, you will get it from Google. Strength, what is the strength of company, and does this company have the branches all over the city or country, that you have to mention. That is in company profile. Means you have to write about only company profile. And this whole information about company profile, you will get it from the website of that company. Then secondly, that product profile. Product profile means which product you have, means what are the various product of that organizations, what are the very different variants they are manufacturing, that you have to mention all the variants. Is it clear? So in company profile and product profile, company profile, you have to write the information about company, and in product profile, you have to mention all the variants and ranges of the product that company is manufacturing. And the next chapter will come about your literature survey. Literature survey is what? Literature survey is publication which is handled by the students during the course of your project. It consists of a book, ratio analysis, working capital management. If you are doing project like this, so from where you get the information about working capital, where you get the information about ratio analysis, that you have to write about the relative sources of that organizations of that topic, and you have to mention in that. So from where we will get the information about our topic? First, we'll get it from the books. The book consists of all these things. Secondly, you will get the information. There we get latest knowledge about ratio analysis, in ratio analysis, and articles. Articles are blogs written by some executive people. That articles, you get it on the Google. What to do? You have to put the keyword to your topic and just put it in Google, search from in the Google search engine. You will get the various articles or research papers which are done by the earlier individuals, right? So you will get information that you have to mention in chapter number 5, right? Next is about chapter 5th, that is. Hello, hello.
हाँ सर बोलो ना.
Uh, are you getting?
Sir, voice is breaking now.
Hello. Man, there was some problem. Now it is okay, no?
Yes.
This is objective of the study. Objective is aim of your project. Objective is what? Primary objective. Primary objective is your topic, your subject. Working capital management is primary objective. Working
Sir,
capital
your
management
voice is breaking.
in. Now is it clear?
Yes.
Clear now?
Yes sir, start now.
Hello. Work the prime objective. So what is objective? To study working capital management. And what are the secondary objectives? To study working capital management, from where you will get the information about working capital, how you will calculate the working capital. So what are the various studies you have to perform? Then that is secondary. Secondary objective is study of financial sources. Working capital will be managed by study of various financial sources from we are managing the working capital. Study of individual or any national financial agencies, or study of international financial agencies who are providing the funds to run the organizations. If you study all these things, study by national financing company, international financing company, study of uh, financial sources, funds, so that will be coming in your secondary objectives. In order to get the primary objective, what are the various studies that you, that is called secondary objectives. Study ratio analysis is your prime objective, but study allied ratios like your turnover ratio, your capital ratio, budgeting ratio. There are 11 to 12 ratios. Study individual ratios will come in the secondary objectives. So in project, you must have one primary objective and secondary objective should be one or two. Primary objective should be one. Secondary objective should not be more than one. Secondary objective should not be, so primary objective should be one and secondary objective will be more than one, depending upon your type of study. As I told you that if you take the topic of ratio analysis, your prime objective is ratio analysis, but there are 11 ratios. You are doing the study of 11 ratios that will come under the secondary objective. Now, chapter number 6, that is your research methodology. After this, chapter number 1 to chapter number 5, the student has to collect this data from books, from articles, from websites, means any kinds of the data from where you are getting, maybe from the book, maybe getting from your Google, or maybe getting from articles, maybe getting from the newspaper, maybe getting from previous project, thesis. You have to mention this chapter number 1 to 5. Chapter number 2, company profile, you will get it information from company's website. Chapter number 1, chapter number 2, industry profile information, you will get it on Google only. Chapter number 3 is about company profile, you will get information on company's website. Chapter number 4 is your literature review. You will get information, means whatever the literature that you are handling, that you have to mention. And chapter number 5, objectives, that already we have given you the topics and secondary objectives along with guide. You have to decide, and that you have to write in your own words. Chapter number 4, objectives, you have to write it in your own words. Now chapter number 6, research methodology. In research methodology, why we are doing the research? What is the importance, objectives, why we are doing the research? Research is a scientific process which is done by the researcher in order to find out various facts, right? So this is objective of research. Study, research enhances the knowledge of students. Research enhances the quality of production. Research enhances the social status. That comes in the objectives. Then type of research. Here one thing I wanted to mention, that yesterday I have made it clear that type of research, there are two types of research. One is qualitative research and secondary is qualitative research. The research which is generally done in marketing, in in human resource management, they are based on primary data. Primary data means fresh data which is collected from individuals, customers, organizations, that primary data. So it is called as qualitative research. But in case of financial reporting, financial project, we are collecting the data from organizations. If you are doing working capital management, ratio analysis, you have to get the data of last 5 years, inventory management, last 5 years data. That data is already there. That is called as secondary data. So finance students should be very clear that your research is quantitative research. Informations you have to write about quantitative research. And the data that you are going to use, that is not primary data. The data which will be used by you, the secondary data. Right? Hello. And in case of sampling in finance, sometimes sampling is there, otherwise sampling is not required, because almost you are collecting the data from one person, that is manager of the organizations, and you are not doing the project in market, you are doing the project company's profile project. So your sampling will be normal, that is random sampling, because you don't have option from individuals. Now the data collection techniques. Here you have to mention that interview method, because you're not designing any kind of the only you are discussing with the CEOs, heads of the organizations, manager of the organizations, financial executives of the organizations, and you are collecting the data from them. So how you will collect the data? You will collect data by interview methods. So no need to put any other method. There are so many methods. Projective techniques are there. You go through the research methodology. Projective techniques are there. Questionnaire is there. Okay. Then interview method is there. Survey is there. Okay. But you are collecting the data through what? Interview method. So you have to specifically you have to mention interview method. And regarding this topic, you have to take the guidance of your project. Rest of the topics already objective decided. Rest of the data you can get it according to the point. You have to collect the data. See the points. Collect the data. Company profile, foundation, turnover, competitor, product, that you will get the information that you have to collect. But here you have to take the help of guide, because guide is going to tell you that how the data has to be collected. Who is supposed to give you the guide? Means because you are a student, you are a researcher. Informations. Informations. Actually, we are running out of time. So we'll continue the first data collection technique, analytic technique, that is interview method. And lastly is analysis technique. Analysis technique that we are using, what that is tabulation and graphical representation, and in limitations you have to write key what are the difficulties that you are faced during this phase of project. That limitations you have to write in chapter number 6. Chapter number 7 is your observation. Means after collection of data, yes, you have to, sorry, chapter number 7 is data analysis. What we have to do, you have to put the data into tables, prepare the graphs, tables, graphs, and interpretation. What you have to do, you have to first put the table, then make a graph, and along with the graph, you have to make the interpretation. That chapter number 7 will be done along with your guide. Then chapter number 8 is about your findings. What is findings? Means after interpreting data, what you have observed, what you find, how the working capital is being managed, how is the position of the organization, ratio analysis. It is your opinion, because you have studied already the concept of ratio analysis. So you have to give your observations. That observations you have to write it in chapter number 8. Chapter number, then next is your conclusion, that after making observation, there are so many observations. After observations, what is your general conclusion that you have to write? Now here you have to write this is, with the study it is concluded that from the observation it is concluded that you have to write the conclusion. You can take the help of guide also to write the conclusion, because the data is there, interpretations are there, you can conclude. And the last is that key what the suggestions that you are giving to organizations, that after completion of this project, you have to give the suggestions and recommendations to the organizations. That will be done on your own. That is your mind, how you are calculating, how you are putting the hypothesis, that you have to give the recommendations to the organization that this should be carried out in order to enhance or lower down the ratios, what should be done. That when you complete your project. And next is your last is bibliography. In bibliography, you have to mention that what are the books we have referred, what are the websites you have referred, what are the publications that you have referred, that you have to mention in chapter number 11, that is bibliography. In this way, you have to do the project. Now, the in after completion of this first week, now you are along with your guide, what you have to do, you have to regarding your guides, your financial director sir will be guiding you. You can ask to me regarding HR. Sneha Muneshwar madam is there. She will guide you regarding HR. Akash sir will be guiding you operation supply chain management, then business analytics, and marketing will be guided by me. Okay. So you have to collect the data in this fashion, and along with the after this week, along with the you discuss with the guide and you start collection of data. Within next 15 days, what is our aim? Our aim is to collect the data. And after collection of data, then what are chapter number 1 to 5 that you can write it from the book also. But the prime, this is gist of the project that you have to sit along with your guide and you have to plan out for the collection of data, collect the data, and further analysis and all will be done afterwards. If you are having any kinds of the doubts regarding session, you can come up to us in the next week, Monday onwards. You should start collection of data, and during that session, if you are having any kinds of the doubts, you can ask to ma'am. Then director sir is there, Akash sir is there, myself is there. Okay, but within 15 days, the data has to be collected. Is it clear? And yeah, the time is stopped because in Google meeting time is very limited. So whatever the doubts and you had it, okay, you can ask during the session. Akash,
Yes, sir.
the students was not attended. The students were not attended. Okay. You put this recording on website.